Red alert! Set an intention. Go to Salon Trek.
We're also thrilled to announce that we now serve Raktajino.
Hoopla!
Ahoy, hoy, friends, and welcome to an All Worlds Day Salon. I'm your host, Stan Williams, and I am available if any princess out there wants a lavender wedding. Tonight, we are talking about Star Trek Starfleet Academy, Season 1, Episode 7, Cosine. That's right, we're taking a little vacation. Keep your sunglasses on. Don't forget your sunscreen. Learn from Kyle's mistakes. In order to talk about this episode, though, I got to beam in the crew. But before I do all the podcast things, it is actually 6:30 on a Thursday. We are on time today at Salon Trek, wherever you get your podcast nonsense, all of the podcast places, all the social media. And we are at the Salon Trek over on Instagram. It's a new one. We would appreciate a follow there. We would also appreciate money. I am a princess, as it turns out. But if you would like to support the salon, we have a Patreon over at patreon.com/salontrek. There are some fun bennies. And also a quick note of thank you and apologies to a couple of patrons who were missing from the credits the last couple of weeks. We have corrected that. You'll see your names this week. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Kirsten. Thank you, Tess. We really appreciate you joining us and love you, mean it. All right. We got to talk about Cosine. Episode 7 of the first season, written by Alex Taub and Eric Anthony Glover, directed by Andy Armaganian. Apologies if I mispronounced any of those names. All right, enough silliness. Let's get back to work, everybody. Vacation's over. Trevor, how you do?
Never been a cosine, but I have been a cosigner.
Ooh. The one I would trust to cosign alone with, Joanne. Joanne, how are you? Oh, you're on mute. No. See, and this is why I can trust you. Careful.
I'm like, that would be a bad mistake.
Enjoying the Mardi Gras season from afar. Here's Krista.
Hi.
Blocking out all 4 of her eyes from the sun. We love it. And speaking of wine, here's Matt. Matt, how you do?
You know, I'll take that one this time.
Speaking of taking it, here's Will.
Yeah. See, I'm the first person you need to have me co-sign alone because I have a credit score of 810. So,
Ooh,
I'm 820 now. Listen.
Also available for lavender marriage.
For their social security numbers, join the Patreon.
Right.
Yeah.
Get excited. Y'all, we got a new episode of Star Trek. We got to talk about it. But before we do, as y'all know, we simply must set an intention.
This is obvious, but don't forget to set an intention when you light it, or you're just going to be wasting the wax.
Indeed, we must. To set an intention tonight, I thought it would be fun in honor of Genesis Lide's ascension / possible regression toward the captain's track. I thought it'd be fun if we went around the room and shared who we thought would make a great captain. So who in the Trek universe who never captained would you actually like to see as a captain? As always, I will start us off. And I'm just going to go straight for, I know she's new. We've not seen her in a lot of situations where command experience is required, but I'm going to go with our girl, Laura Thok. I would watch the fuck out of a Laura Thok series, film, miniseries, Paramount, whatever you're interested in producing. I love her in all the things and in all the ways. And I think Gina could carry her own show. So that's my answer, and I'm sticking to it. Let's go around the room. Mateo, what say you?
You know, I don't know if this counts, but I'm going to say, and this, I'm going to sound like a Trek bro when I say it, but I do mean it. 7 of 9. We never really got to see her like be a captain. You know, like we got teased a little bit, and we got that little like, oh, you can take us out. But I would legitimately like to see, because I feel like we finally built up to that, and I would love to see that. I would like to see that continue
For all the Voyager reasons.
Exactly.
Yes, absolutely. William?
I misunderstood the prompt and I wrote
That's okay.
I wrote Shaka Khan.
A great answer. A great answer.
She's every woman. She could be a captain.
There we go. Period. And discussion. It's over.
And have you ever seen her on Watch What Happens Live? If you've ever seen her on Watch What Happens Live, it's a hoot.
I mean, yeah. I did actually misread the thing as a non-Trek character. So I was like, oh, it'd be really funny if RuPaul was a captain. That'd be really funny. Or like someone who's not like whatever. But no, I mean, if it was an actual Trek person, we never saw captain a ship. I mean, we did get to see Data captain, but I would love to see more of it. Like we see like a here and there, and like he's been in the command chair and done certain things, whatever. And he was on the Sutherland, but like, I don't know that, or like Shaka Khan or Data. I understand it's like a 50-50
Yeah,
split. I don't know.
Like,
I guess I
don't know how
do
you'd
the
make a
captaincy
choice.
is something so boring, and like if I was in Starfleet, I would never become a captain. So yeah, I would never do it. So I never think of that as like the height of anything, because being important at work has ruined my life. So I would never want to be important doing anything.
The fun's in one of those side chairs, not the center one. Yeah.
I mean, mama, I would captain a runabout. That's about it.
I hear you.
Krista, continue to deviate us off course, please, darling.
I'm gonna deviate right onto your path, because I don't like I couldn't come up with anybody that I wanted in the franchise to be a captain, so I'm gonna go with outside of Star Trek, and I just forgot who in my mind.
Shaka Khan. When in doubt, say Shaka Khan. Move on.
Second was Shaka Khan.
Again, she's every woman. It works.
Nope, it's
Every
not a woman.
woman.
It's I wanted I don't know why, but I wanted like Billy Bob Thornton. I figure if we can go with Holly Hunter, then we can get some Billy Bob Thornton or maybe some Nick Cage. Like, give me something in the face.
Put some of that Landman juice into it.
Nick Cage has mentioned multiple times how much he loves Star Trek and would
He
love
really
to
wants
be in
to
Star
be in
Trek.
yeah.
I'm just saying, it's either that or like Luxana Troy, which would just be a train wreck. Not for a series, just a couple episodes.
A fun ship. I would watch Captain Cage or Captain Troy. Joanne?
So my vote is for Stamets. So since he didn't get to, handle the whole progenitor machine thing or whatever and all the research, I think the consolation prize would be give him and Colbert, what's the round ship? The Oberth. And, just let them go. Let them go, science and medicine.
Drugs?
Go first.
And an
You know what I
Oberth.
mean? Yeah. Stamets
Maybe-
and Culver on an Oberth. But
Maybe they'll
Stamets is the
finally-
captain. Yeah.
Maybe they'll finally have sex. That'd be great.
I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I'm gonna say Tasha Yar. She is my quintessential what if scenario. Captain Yar would be fucking awesome. And that's my intention. It's set.
If you don't clip that sound, Krista losing her shit and make it something.
I mean, it was just dead silence.
I need
Tasha Yar, dead silence, not a nod, not a finger thing, not a nothing.
Wait.
It was a mono silence for a dead person.
Denise Crosby, Tasha Yar, or porn actress Tasha Yar?
Give me
Both
both.
side by side chairs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
No, wait. It's Denise Crosby as the captain, but there's an episode where there's a crossover, and that's the mirror her.
Ooh, yes.
And the camel toe sister.
And
And the camel toe sister. So
yeah.
only because I mentioned it.
Camel toe.
only because I mentioned it. If you'd like to watch us review the Star Trek: The Next Generation porn parody, join our Patreon. All the sex scenes are removed, unfortunately, but it's a hoot. It's actually not a bad
fortunately,
episode.
Yes. Well, Trevor, thank you so much. The intentions are set. It's time to get into this episode with our top thoughts. If I could find the right banners, I will kick things off with my top thoughts. I enjoyed this episode more on a rewatch. Thank you, Trevor, for helping me catch some lighter themes that I had missed around the isolation, the loneliness. I think when looking at it through that lens, the character moments landed a little bit better for me. I thought this was a modern filler episode in a way, and I mean that in a good way. I like filler episodes. I think that's where you get good character development outside of crisis moments that help paint a more vivid picture for the story overall. I think there were some missed opportunities in this episode, though. I will save my thoughts about Caleb and Genesis for when we get into that, but for my top thoughts, Darum, I love my boy Darum, and George is a great actor. I loved all of the performances, but he had only a little bit of growth in this episode, and there were huge opportunities. Number one, I think Kyle should have gone with them to give them an opportunity to have a moment that would have not only touched on the loss of Bobby, Jaden's relationship. He could have been pulled in by Jaden's speech as well. He could have buried the hatchet a little bit. But more importantly, the biggest glaring missed opportunity here, we got his parents and zero interaction with his parents. There are credited actors and nothing. There was a huge opportunity here for them to be livid that he abdicated and him to have his Varsity Blues moment where I don't want your laugh or something. There's a missed opportunity there, and I've gone over my time, but I enjoyed this episode. There were some missed opportunities that we'll get into. Joanne, your top thoughts.
I thought it was a good episode. I also don't like what the term filler has become. It is, not filler. It is about story and character, and it drives why we love and know our characters over time. We need them, even in a 10 episode season. So I want us to all remove the negative connotation around episodes like this from our vocabulary. But I enjoyed some of the beats. I think some things were missing too, right? I agree with you, Staniel, that, there were some moments missing. I'm wondering if they were cut or were they just not included in the story at all? So, but I'm leaning towards cut. I love the costuming. Y'all know I'm shallow and superficial. So they looked gorgeous. So I love that too. And I was emotional by the end. I texted Trevor. I'm becoming his 11 p.m. nuisance. Like, girl, I'm crying. So I was emotional. So it worked for me at the end. So I liked it. It was good. Krista.
I liked it. I think it's interesting that this episode seemed to have kind of a Jane Austen bent to it, where last week was sort of Mary Shelley and kind of dark and a little dark element, and this one was more light and kind of yearning and all of that. I have to admit I'm disappointed that we didn't get Jaden and Kyle in Ibiza. I think that would have been, just watching them bounce up and down to music might have been interesting. But all around the things that stuck out for me were the little beats, Genesis and Sam. There's a real kind of sisterhood happening there that I like. I love the weirdness of Sam. I love the intonations, the tones, the varying of her tonal range. She's just such a delight, really. And the one thing that disappointed me was I thought we were going to get Laura and Reno like sexy times while the kids were out. And I was like, I don't need a close up of her big toe. I thought that they were running around, chasing each other and having sexy time. And it turns out that's not at all what was happening. And so I was disappointed with that. That's it. Not really. After last week's, this week was kind of an easy watch and a breather. I don't want to use the word filler because we did get some buildup and we did get some understanding, but I just got a real Jane Austen vibe on the whole episode myself. So thanks for checking in with the ladies.
Yeah, I was a little meh on this. I think like Stan, I think it would be better on a rewatch. I also am a little worn out by filler episode and its kind of negative connotation. I think it's like a low stakes character kind of breather, palate cleanser episode. I thought this was fine. I do think that it lacked kind of central conflict. Like things just kind of happened. And I think adding more of this, more context, I think would have been better. I think that, I don't know. It just felt like this could have been pushed further. I mean, last episode I thought was so good. And then we've been on such a run of like really solid, great character episodes that this, I feel like they kind of dropped the ball on it. No offense to the writers. That it just felt like this was just it wasn't even a swing and a miss. They just stood at the plate and let the ball pass them. Like there's so many opportunities for better conflict. Like if we're going to compare this to like the episode of TNG Family, like there's a lot of wonderful character work that happens in an episode that is really low stakes. So you get this huge episode and kind of the aftermath of it. So we don't see the kids immediately following kind of a really traumatic event where a student dies and like they go through kind of a life or death situation. Their first true one, other than if you don't count the first episode. But we get some touches of that, but they kind of breathe past it. So I don't know. Some of it it's a meh for me. It's a meh. I think some of the stuff was good. We'll get into it. I don't want to show all my cards immediately, but meh. Matt, darling.
I have to agree. I kind of watched this one and I was like, okay. Like, there's some really fun character interactions. I love Genesis and Caleb. I like them together. I think it's great. I almost don't want them to be romantic. I want them to have that, like, we could, but we both realize, like, we don't really need to. I kind of like that there was that kind of undertone where she was getting there and then she was like, so your girlfriend, what's up with that? Like, and then helped him still. Like, there was still that, like, she is a natural captain. Like, she truly, to the point of, like, having that blind spot of, having a professor or a reference not necessarily be 100% perfect. Like, it shows that you have growth. Like, I love that whole thing. For me, I think one of the biggest takeaways I had that I don't think we'll probably touch on this as much, so I'll say it now. Something was wrong with Captain Ake. This episode was not written right. Her character was wrong, and it bothered me. Like, her whole interaction packing with Caleb, it didn't feel like what we've seen from her before. And it just felt out of place. And I don't know if she was just in vacation mode and she was like, fuck it. But yeah, anyway. Overall, liked it though. More gay kissing. Oh, it was also very confusing. I also want to put that in there. I'm still very confused, and this is something I want to talk about. I don't know if it's just that I know I'm going over, but I'm not used to having like modern storytelling where like the idea of a gay like three-way love triangle could happen, or it's just that like they're really pushing that he's like, oh, you're my Starfleet bro. Like, I don't know. The whole thing between Jaden and why can I never remember his name? George's character.
Darum.
Darum, thank you. I don't know. It just seemed weird that I was like, are they flirting? Or is this like a bromance that he's just really jealous because the other guy's in the other war college? Anyway.
It's hard to tell with him, too, because he was like,
Yeah.
say hi to your sister, say hi to your sister, say hi to your sister. It was like say hi to all the sisters collectively. So he's kind of a player. And I think that Jaden called him out on that, which was a really important scene.
I agree, but I also like every time they get close to it, they're like, well, sorry. Anyway, Trevor.
I would like to reclaim my 10-second. I'm kidding. No, I'm like, what's happening?
We have segments. We have an agenda.
Oh God,
Is this a show?
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, Stan. I agree with both of these two. I actually love that you're confused, Matt, because I like that it's a little confusing. I like that there's enough comfort with sexuality that we're like, wait, are they gonna fuck? Like, it's legitimately confusing. Whereas in the 90s, we would have been like, oh, that one pass in the hallway is all we're ever gonna get. We're actually getting this interesting tension, and I think they want to, but I don't think they ever will, because Kyle's the relationship guy and Darham's the let's just hook up guy. Anyway, my top thoughts, which I've well skewed away from. I enjoyed it even though it was meh, and I think I enjoyed it because it was meh. Like I like a little pause from the momentum every once in a while. And I'll just say, to the charmed Star Trek fan intersection, which I know is me and Rachel in the comments, and that's it. This episode was very, very CWWB, like, we're going to take a minute and talk about lonely people, and then we're going to throw in a song with lyrics that makes you sad no matter what. And oh, by the way, it's raining outside. It was very much giving me they finally killed Cole vibes from Charmed. So Rachel and apparently Matt, you understand what I'm saying. It was a very yes, very Felicity. That's a good call out, Will. Yeah, I enjoyed it despite the fact that not a lot happened. So I'll stop there because I wrote the rule that says we only have a minute.
And he's sticking with it. Yeah, I agree. I think good points being made all around. I've said before, pre-show and in other streams, I think this is one of the strongest, if not the strongest, first season of a Star Trek series. Certainly in the streaming era, they are getting what carries over across the season right. They're doing really well with that. And they're also doing episodic really well. I would argue even better than Strange New Worlds is doing it, because there's the connective tissue even while being distinct. It's not quite the whiplashy that we get with Strange New Worlds. And I like Strange New Worlds. Season 3 was an aberration. I have a random aside. I have a new theory that's probably actually just Lori Ulster's theory. I think she said this in last week's All Access podcast, that maybe season 3's episodes were just out of order. And the more I think about it, the more there is an order that makes the season better. They're not doing that here. This season is working really well as is. We needed this breather. I like that we didn't get a hard reset and it wasn't like, okay, everything's over. There were some things that I wish we got, a scene with Sam at the digital spa would have been fun. It also could have been distracting. I don't know. But I think there was something there. I liked that it wasn't just like she's fixed now. It was like she has to go and get taken care of. So it at least wasn't like a hard reset, like a 90s Trek reset. The Voyager is pristine again. Never mind the Borg, the Hirogen, Year of Hell, whatever. It's fine. I love Voyager, but the reset did it. Anyway, let's talk about the A plot or the B plot, depending on how you see it. Caleb and Genesis. We got some interesting stuff between the two of them. We get Caleb not sure how to connect with Tarima. He's still dealing with his trauma. It bookends this episode really well. Him trying to send her a message and then him actually sending her a message. And some really interesting scenes with Genesis. The only thing I will say about Genesis that I did not like or love, because she's a girl's girl. I loved that, like, we're kind of hot, we could get it on, but no, call your girlfriend. I loved that. Her deep dark secret, I wish was a little juicier or explored more, because it was kind of a nothing burger in my opinion. Like, I mean, it was a wrong thing to do. I'm glad she was reprimanded and she's not getting into the pre-command track. But if what she did wasn't a little juicier than like redacting one point of criticism in a recommendation letter, exploring it a little bit more, because I liked what Captain Ake had to say about it. So those are my general thoughts on Caleb and Genesis's scenes, but there's plenty more to discuss. I saw a pencil raise from Trevor, so he's going to correct me about something.
You're wrong.
Will.
No,
Trevor then Will.
Actually, you're wrong in that I'm going to correct you. I'm not going to correct you. I'm gonna point out two things. The first one, I'm lying in wait for some obnoxious Trek bro to talk about how she cheated to get in, or she did something that she shouldn't have done to get into the academy or make herself look better, so that I can unleash on the fact that James fucking Kirk cheated to graduate. And we celebrate him for it and gave him a fucking award for it. So please come for the woman who did something less severe while you celebrate the man who did something worse. Because I'm here to drag a bitch. Speaking of dragging a bitch.
4 of those words too.
Speaking of dragging a bitch, my second point that I wanted to bring up. Contrary to my original assertion that I would call out by name every person that says something problematic about this show, I'm not going to name the person who in a chat on a different stream made a comment that just set me afire. I will not call that person out by name for reasons. But if you're struggling with Caleb not perfecting his care and comfort for this person who has lived the most privileged life a person in the 32nd century can live, who had a bad day and accidentally blew some people up, if you're struggling with orphaned at 5, imprisoned at God knows whatever age, spent time in jail, has no family, is trying to make the best of a life, if you're going after that brown man for not comforting the Beta Z princess, fuck off. Like, learn how the world works, please. Like, and she's not the only person that's ever made these comments. I've seen them elsewhere since this episode dropped. So just in the last 24 hours, there have been comments made about Caleb's inability to be empathetic and to help her. Can we just rewind to one of the most basic principles of helping other people? You cannot give what you do not have. So simmer down and listen. Listen, Sutton Strack, I will name them privately.
Name them.
I'm not going to name them.
Name them. Say their name.
No,
Say their name.
I'm not declaring war, because while I have argued with her in comments in the past, I don't consider her to be problematic. I consider her comment to be problematic. So I'm not going to name her. If she were problematic herself,
Boo, you whore.
I would drag her reformed. But yes, like don't come for my prisoner Boo, because he wasn't empathetic enough to the girl who had a bad day a month ago. Like,
I triggered that thought in the chat because I was on this other stream. I triggered that thought by saying I wanted an acknowledgement of it, and it spiraled into this like, yeah, he should have made it about her, etc., etc. I'm like, no. Like, all I was saying was, she's scared that you were going to dump her for this. It's been a month. So maybe like an acknowledgement could have been an interesting way to show some growth for him. But I completely agree with Trevor. Like, just an acknowledgement, not a taking on, and then it spiraled. But I agree, Trevor. If you're
I'm looking at the comments. I'm sorry.
Your cup can fill others if it's not full.
Yeah, you cannot give what you do not have, and he doesn't have.
Trevor, let me give you back your time to finish your thought, and then we will go to Will, then Matt, then Krista.
I think I said my piece. Like, yeah, he like first of all, the episode was bookended by him fucking it up and then figuring it out. But like, our boy figured it out. Like, relax. Like, just in general, it gave me the ick because it was like, okay, why are we asking this brown man to fix this white girl's trauma? It's not okay. Yes, they're starting a relationship, and yes, he made some mistakes, but like, it's not his job to fix what happened. It's actually a trained professional's job, and they're not even in that confirmed of a relationship. Like, we're halfway through a semester. Like, chillax, guys. They didn't get married 6 years ago. Like, it's a little much in terms of what was expected of him, in my opinion, and what was expressed in that particular chat, which is not relevant to the episode per se, but relevant to my experience in interacting with said unnamed individual. And scene. William.
Will.
Yeah, I kind of got a little frustrated with Genesis's character. Like, oh, this was her thing. She changed a letter of recommendation. Like, really, bitch? Like, if it would have been funny if it was like a joke where it's like, there's a spelling error on my form, and it's just bugging her forever. Like, something that was like she the thing that was so high stakes to her was to break into the bridge, do all this shit, because she realized there was a spelling mistake on like her application. And like, she's a perfectionist, and that's kind of the thing. Instead of it being this weird, like, I altered it because they said I wasn't perfect. Like, I didn't buy it. I actually really enjoyed Caleb's character this episode. I thought like him just kind of wanting to hang out was like, yeah, girl, do it. And just him doing these dumb, like, I thought that whole sequence was stupid, but like, I like the two of them together. I like Genesis's pairing with like this strong, competent, like insanely competent young woman with these kind of buffoonish men who you would assume who kind of emulate the Kirk archetype, but she's the one who's kind of kicking all their asses academically and like is the more competent who make the most competent, the best officer. So it's like pairing Kirk with Janeway in the academy. Cause like, Janeway was just running circles around people, and Kirk's like, sleeping with Orion girls and like drinking in his dorm room. So it's like, I get it. But yeah, I did think that was a thing. It kind of bummed me out because it was like, why can't the girl who's really smart why can't she be really good? Why does it have to be something where she's like, I'm not perfect, so I have to like fix it, instead of it being something really stupid? Like, and I don't know. That whole thing kind of bummed me out because they named her as going to like that like the pre-command thing. And I think it made me mad that they gave it to her and then took it away. I'm sure they'll give it to her later, but like, I don't know. It was just kind of stupid. There was just parts of it I found that her arc in this episode I found really annoying. Anyway, name him, Trevor.
Matt.
Next was Matt.
I liked, like I said, I loved the two of them together. I loved seeing Genesis be Genesis and just be like, listen, I didn't want to go to Ursa, whatever. And so I came back to the academy, and like, she just casually beamed back in. And what I really want to say is the way that they wrote Caleb actually worked so well for me, because he was just that like completely out of his depth, not emotionless, but has no idea what to do with his emotions jock, that he was clearly like tanning in his beach chair, and then he's like jacked and he's ripped and he's been like all these things, and then he's like, oh, I don't know how to act.
Matt, I'm so sorry. You mentioned something that I think is worth noting again. Was this what you were talking about?
Tanning in his what now?
Can I just say?
Hang on 1 second, Matt. Stan, that's the best you could do? It's a little
Oh, I'm sorry, what?
Thank you.
I'm gonna say something, and I mean this 100%. His face is beautiful. The body's too much for me. It's too much. I don't like that. It's too much. I do not
Matt.
find that attractive.
He's not here to allure you.
I know. I'm just like, I'm saying that for the record, that is not my type. That is too much. That spends too much time at the gym. Anyway, I thought it was fun to see him like writing out all these things, and he's just like, I don't know what to say. Like, I want to say something, but I don't know what to say. Like, I'm giving her room. And then Genesis calling him out, like, it's been a month. It's been a month. What do you mean you don't know what to say? So I don't know. I like the two of them together a lot. I really enjoyed that part of the episode. There's other things that I think were a miss, but I really think the two of them were great in this episode. And I love that they were breaking into the bridge. Like, the fact that that Reno was watching them the whole time and was like, they're not going to do it. Like, I'll make sure that they don't, like, actually fuck anything up.
The pre-start chicken was fun.
Yes. Like, the whole... anyway, I loved it. And I also loved having her and Laura Thok, like, just in the background.
Krista.
Can I go now? The thing with Genesis, I like the character of Genesis, but I think the thing in this episode that bothered me the most is that they assigned her imposter syndrome. And I think it's really easy to assign women imposter syndrome. And that is something that that immediately hits me wrong. And then it's I have to live up to my father's reputation. And it's like just layer. Thank you, no. The other thing I want to mention is with regards to Caleb and his girlfriend. I think it's an immediate impulse and it's a wrong impulse, but people have this impulse. Like my husband will have this impulse. If I'm griping about something or I'm upset about something, he'll immediately want to come in and fix it. I just need a sounding board. I don't need you to fix it. And I think this idea that he's supposed to go in and fix this for her pisses me off. And it's another tropey thing. But also you're completely discounting the element where he literally talks about why he feels distance from her to begin with. He self-imposed the distance because he felt invaded in a way that was not acceptable. And yes, men can be invaded. They can be victimized in ways that maybe are non-intentional on her part, but still the result is the same. He pulls back and now he really doesn't know what to do because he doesn't know how he feels about it. He knows she didn't intend it. He doesn't want to think ill about it. And also, yeah, it may have been 30 days, but I don't remember anyone asking if she had contacted him. Did she contact him? Because at the end of last week's episode, he was the one that was violated. He was the one that was in his impression, his feeling was that he had been violated. He is a private person. He is a person that everything has been taken away from. So yeah, he guards everything close and he doesn't give an inch. That doesn't mean that he doesn't have empathy. That doesn't mean that he doesn't sympathize or have compassion or any of those things. It means that he will choose his opportunity, and the person that he will choose to show that with will be his decision, not somebody else's decision, not some tropey bullshit. Like he's suddenly got to become another person. This is why I couldn't be on last week, because this shit, just go fuck yourself with the double standard. She could easily talk to him. She could easily call him and or iPad him or whatever the fuck their communication system is and say, I haven't heard from you. I'm just checking. Are you okay? Because we both went through the same traumatic experience, separate from the traumatic experience of having sex. I mean, it's like, look, those are my 2 points. I'm not going any further with that. That's it.
Damn, Krista.
My 2 points. I hope they made sense.
Yeah.
Really?
No, girl. You recontextualized all of Caleb's character. I'm over here like gagging. I'm like, yeah, fuck her.
Yeah.
Fuck her, dude.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, no, you're completely right.
Thank you.
I will.
Absolutely.
I do think Jake brings up a really good point, though, that I was going to mention too, that I think I'm pretty sure she was in a coma for 2 weeks, so I think that's one of the reasons why she didn't say anything. But I
Also
think the way there's that point too. I do think at the end of the last week's episode, exactly. She thinks that he doesn't want it anymore because a medical nap. Because she's like, oh, I scared you once and now you're going to be done with me. And then she went into a coma. So like, I can kind of I fully agree with what you're saying though. Like for him, I think that's where he is at. I think the one reason why she didn't contact him though is because the last thought she had was, I made a mistake once when I did this and I violated you. I'm going to have to violate you so much more now to save your life. You're not going to want to talk to me. And then she went unconscious and has been in a coma for 2 weeks. So I think to me, that's why we didn't see her. But I do fully agree with everything you're saying on the other end of it for him, because I think that's exactly what he's going through. And I think that that's a really important thing to bring up.
I mean, we just always rush to center the broken white woman. And it just,
Yeah.
why? I mean, why?
Mm-hmm.
Her trauma does not have priority over anybody else's. They literally all are recovering from tremendous pain and loss, and they're all processing it in their own way. That's literally, I think, at the heart of this episode and the point of this episode. And it all comes out for all of them strangely, like nobody's themselves this episode. Fully.
Jill.
Work.
We're just
That's
going to
it.
let that moment land.
Said what I said.
Period.
Do we need a palate cleanser?
No, it's
No.
not.
Wrong moment.
Why?
Yep.
I can't with that. He's so
Big.
no, cultivated.
I hope so.
It's a cultivated look.
Yeah.
It's specific. There's
I know many
not a
a Jim
scar,
gay.
not a freckle, not a. It's like
It's too perfect. It's too much right there.
Stanley, get ready.
I know there's a lot.
Because it could cleanse my palate, but not in the way you're thinking.
Problematic gay alert.
I also appreciate the speed at which that new still got added to that.
He's efficient.
Did somebody say Canva?
If you say it 3 times in a mirror, Stan appears in your apartment.
I will appear. Let's talk about Darum and Jaden. There was some lovely stuff happening in these scenes. I love that Jaden was over his fear of public speaking. Thankfully, this was a tiny, private wedding ceremony where the parents were not allowed to interact with them. But I thought his speech was lovely. I liked Darum's wife, who got more character development in this episode than he did. I like that he recognized that he's an asshole. But again, I will say there were some missed opportunities here. I get them not going to the water planet. It's budget. I think they could have used the AR wall a little bit more effectively. They're like, this wedding ceremony could have been different. We could have gotten more about Kionian custom and culture. Like, give us some kind of world building. This was the most basic of private wedding ceremonies I have ever seen, but with some stunning costumes. Absolutely stunning costumes. And again, I will say, I think it would have helped it so much if Kyle had followed Jaden in, and they would have had this opportunity to be like, we were trying to rescue this guy. Turns out this royal douchebag's getting married, fucking up our vacation. My best friend just died. I was looking to spend time with you. And then he has the opportunity to bury the hatchet with Darum, growth for both of them. Triad House begins because our boy Jaden has 2 for a reason.
Problematic gay alert.
And aside from all of that, again, the biggest missed opportunity here, I do still think, is the lack of the parents interacting with Darum. It was so weird to me. It's wild that actors were there. They are in the credits. Darum's parents are in. They were there. 0 interaction. And like I said in my top thoughts, there was a big opportunity for him to be like, I'm abdicating, them to freak out, him to be like, hey, I've made my choice. My wife and I have decided this is the best path. I'm abdicating. I'm going back to Starfleet. Like,
I still think it was cut.
I hope so.
I mean,
hope
for them to be credited, I mean, I don't know about the actory world, but I'm like, if they're credited, why would they credit somebody they had no intention of giving dialogue or real screen time to?
But it's I think that is usually how credits work. You would be named and credited if you have at least a line of dialogue. Otherwise, you would just be listed. Co-starring, not co-starring, but this episode was 55 minutes, which was short for Starfleet Academy. They've all been about an hour, so why cut it? Like, I'm curious. Huge missed opportunity. Matt and then Will.
I actually kind of like that they didn't talk to him, because his whole thing has been they haven't been talking to him. They're like, no. It's not that we didn't get your messages and didn't respond. We're also not going to talk to you in person at your own wedding. Like, fuck you. I don't know. There was something very good about that for me. His whole
acknowledgement of it would have made that work.
Maybe
I don't disagree with you, but like,
even if he was like, they won't even talk to me here or something like that would be No, I agree with that. I have something that I thought of that I just remembered, and maybe this is now me being too sensitive, and that's maybe what this is. I loved that we saw Jaden in the scant skirt at the last one. I thought it was fun. Great. It is starting to feel problematically tropey that he has now been in it every season, like every episode, and they put him in that like kind of skirt wrap. It's almost like, oh, he's the first gay Klingon. Now you get to wear all the dresses. I don't know. There's just something that
if the actor wasn't gay themselves, I would agree with you. But like,
I think that makes it worse. To me, it's like, oh, look, we finally have a gay actor and a gay character, and now he's going to wear dresses.
But that's removing agency from Kareem. Like, if
I just always assume actors never have a say in what they're wearing, but
they do a lot of the time.
They do on Strange New Worlds.
Yeah,
they get to choose which.
Well, then I love to hear that. As long as it's a choice, as long as it's a choice, that's fine. It just on this one especially, I was like, oh, he's in the scant skirt again. I was like, cute, and then it was like, oh, now he's also in like a wedding dress, like a bridesmaid's dress. I don't know, but this is also me having like the '90s, trauma from the gay characters always getting the shaft. So I will just say, I wish that it ended with, because he says, come on, friend, let's go home. I wish it would have been a come to Ibiza with me, and then they would have ended up, he took him to see Kyle in Ibiza, and they all were like dancing, and it was like, oh my God, I'm so excited to see you for wait, oh, you brought him. And then you get to see that side of Jaden that's like, hey, don't worry about it. Like, and then you have that moment that they're like, okay, let's just go party together, instead of like reconciling. I don't understand why they did on the ship because budget, but like, I think it would have been more fun if it was like, hey, let's go.
If they had flown everyone to Spain.
Correct. Yeah. I think that Karim was, he would have been like, you know what? I guess I will. I guess if we have to, we'll go see Paris Hilton live DJing on
hologram Paris. Don't be physical. Her shirt just says "Don't be physical." Don't be organic
in the world.
Will.
Yeah,
No.
this part of the episode I thought was probably some of the weakest. Like, if this should have been the A plot, because if this is what we're getting for like Darum's backstory, I think it's a little weak. Like, we get like, oh, he was supposed to marry royalty. Like, if we're getting like something with his parents, like this is the thing they're proud of him for. Like, maybe that he's marrying into the royal family, that this is like they want this for status. Like, they weren't super excited about Starfleet, but maybe they conceded, they let him do it because they figured he'd get out of a system and come back and whatever. Like, I don't know. I wish I would have got more. Like, I know I'm suspecting that this was the like, hey, we need an episode, but like we've kind of burned through the budget for the most of this, so we need like a real like money budget friendly episode. That like that's why this happened, because like I think seeing his home world for the first time and just seeing like this dusty AR wall, like for majority of it was a little bit of a bummer. There could have been more world building in terms of like his culture and how that reflects the coupling and all this stuff, and like how this all kind of works. It was just kind of a miss, because I really like Durham. Like, I don't know, like I really actually like his character. Like, I feel like we'd probably be friends because we're both assholes. Like, I think it would be great.
You
like,
are very Durham coded. Yeah,
exactly. So I'm like, I think we'd probably get along pretty well. Like, he's a little too broy for me, but I think he's fun. But like, I did find this kind of a little cheap. Like, I like him and Jaden's relationship, but I kind of wish it's not romantic. Like, I wish it's just friendly. I don't know. I'm a little torn on their situation. Part of me wishes it does. I'm like, yay, like, yay, this is great love triangle. Let's do it. But like, also, like, I swear to God, if Jaden breaks Kyle's heart, I swear to God, like, that little man child, I love him. But like,
wait, it's the first time a DP's the other way around.
Oh, girl, stop it! I think that's why I like it, because it's not romantic; it's sexual. There's sexual and there's romance with Kyle, and I like the difference between the two. Krista,
I guess.
I was just going to say the thing that sort of confused me with the whole A plot, B plot, whatever plot that was set up was,
or plot, whatever.
It was pot. It was. I thought it was made pretty clear that she was the heir. So I really wasn't. I didn't really understand why it necessitated an immediate marriage. She's the heir either way. So I was a little weirded out by the sort of.
Her parents were abdicating the throne. I think it had something to do with her mother's health. Am I wrong? Like, I thought it was they were abdicating. They were like, oh, he's doing it early.
But it's a 2-person job, so it's always been a couple that rules the planet. So Krista's right. She was always the ruler, but she needed a partner because it's a duo.
But why isn't it her co-signer?
I didn't really feel like that was made very clear.
I think there's one line where they say like, "Oh, there's never been a single ruler before," and she's like, "I'll be the first one."
But the way they did it, it made it seem like they're getting married because they need to produce an heir very quickly. It seemed very like, okay, let's get them together real quick. And even then, even if it didn't happen now, how exactly was this going to work 6 years down the line when they get married? Then, like, what was the point of doing any of it? It was all very convoluted, and it was sort of to serve the story, to serve the fleshing out of.
It needed a little more
his situation, but it didn't.
It's very basic.
It was a little thin. Like there was a problem with the world building, the culture building with the Kyosians and all of them. So it just felt like we needed, that should have been the central plot of this. Is he's like, I have to go back to my planet to get married. That should be the plot of it, rather than him getting kidnapped. And everyone else would be like, I'm going on vacation, and then like we don't see them. Like, the plot should have been him having to go get married.
Well, did we know that he was?
Yeah, the
but
kidnapping
it was supposed to be later down. He should get like a message, or his parents should visit and be like, "Hey, by the way, like there's I think whatever's going on with this plot, I thought it was like they stood at the base and just let the ball go past them. Like they didn't take a swing at it at all. Like, this is a little generic.
Will, what's happening? That's like your 6th sports ball reference. I feel
Me?
It is.
Yeah.
It was the easiest way to explain it. Girl, leave me alone. I don't want to talk about it.
That's fair. I also transitioning for a moment. I'm a little weirded out at the shut up, man. At the conscious decision to put on screen last week or the week before, 2 weeks ago, that Darren Ramey is 17 years old. Mm-hmm. And then in episode 7, he's getting married.
Yeah.
Like, I understand, and I'm not trying to judge alien cultures who maybe his lifespan is shorter. I don't know. But I'm just saying, we all know you will, Stan. I need judgment, go to Stan.
Yep.
I just feel like it was a weird, like it was a conscious decision. And I'm like, why? Like, why did you make that choice? I have questions. Anyway.
And the thing is, they felt so young in the entire episode. They felt like it was like these two teenagers. Every time I saw them on screen, I'm like, I don't know if I'm just old now and this is what youth looks like. But
yes, Sorry. You were saying.
They even seemed young to me. That I was like, this doesn't... And
They're
it's like, we got... Think of those episodes with like Loaxana and everything, where we got to see Betazoid culture. In one episode, we learned so much about it, even if it is a B plot. And then all of a sudden we have this where we're like, we spent all this time and we know nothing about the Kyonians. Really?
Sorry. I think that was the point. I know. I agree it wasn't maybe not executed well, but I think ultimately they made the decisions to cut because I think the journey with Darren was what they were trying to showcase, in that he thought he was going through with this to make his parents happy, and he thought that this is what, they wanted. And then, but Starfleet was really the only thing that kind of made him happy. And he came to terms with why he's kind of an asshole, and that it's kind of okay he can put down kind of all of his bravado and facades and now really figure out who he is and what he wants. And I think we saw that, kind of happen. So I think that's why they made all of those decisions. Like, ultimately, it wasn't a world building decision. It was a character development decision, I think, is what they made. Yeah. Again, we could argue about the quality or the execution of it, but I think that that's what it was.
Yeah. And I think you're probably right about something getting cut that probably just, it slowed things down in an already, like, not negative slow, but a slower general episode. Like, I'm wondering if they're like, hello, mother, hello, father. Yes, how are you? Like, it was just a basic scene that didn't really add much. And so it was an easy cut, even in this will make the episode shorter than others have been. I don't know. That, like, there were opportunities there. But yeah, a 17-year-old king? No, he needs to grow up. He needs to go back to school, and I'm glad he got to.
With his friends.
With his friends.
I don't know what you took earlier, but it kicked in.
With his friends. Is there anything about this episode that we have not talked about yet?
Wait, can I actually ask?
Yes. Do you want to? Matt, is there something else you want to misunderstand about this episode?
Matt,
yes.
Is there anyone else you're not attracted to? Do you want to share that real quick?
The record is open.
Come on, this. Why am I part of this? Why do I do this?
Be true to yourself, Matt. Only you can answer that question.
What were you going to say? He forcefully muted himself.
What else about this episode have we not discussed yet?
I feel like Matt was going to say something poignant.
I had a genuine question because
ask it.
Okay, I firmly asked Krista.
Matt, do you want to ask your question?
I was laughing at Krista. Let me laugh. Did no one else think that, like, Captain Ake was a weird scene?
I thought she was a little off. I think she's still she was told a month ago something's coming for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a little layer of that carried through in her this week. I like that scene with her and Caleb. The luggage
made no sense to me.
I wanted it to shrink or something. Like the gag worked though. The like, you have 4 pairs of boots here. You don't even wear shoes. Like that worked for me. But the more important thing about that scene was, I'm sorry I didn't ask about your mother. I was a little busy. And by the way, don't tell sociopaths personal details. They use that shit against you.
That's the thing is like, I like.
Why'd you look at me when you said that?
We all know why.
There's an advisory on Patreon. It's fine.
Do not tell Will anything personal because he will kill you. I had to move. I literally
Everly
moved
made the
country.
mistake of telling Will that she thought she had a drinking problem, and now that's all he talks about.
Right.
Will doesn't know any of our actual names.
That's right, Melinda.
Any other thoughts about Captain Ake from the crew?
I just think it was a little weird because I know because it's not an Ake-centered episode. I'm sure in her contract she has to be in every episode. So they put a little peppering in. I didn't think it seemed particularly weird. I thought the way she came down on Genesis at the end was probably disappointment more than like weirdness. Because like
I wanted more
maybe.
there.
Oh yeah, I needed her to get real
agree
mad.
with that,
like,
yeah.
you know, she probably shot those scenes in one day, went home. You know, I don't think it for a low stakes episode. I'm willing to forgive a lot of sins. So I didn't think it was particularly weird. I thought like Caleb being upset was in character. I thought her being like, we don't tell fucking people this information. Like, are you fucking crazy that we're looking for your mother? Like the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, you know, so I think, I don't know. I didn't have a problem with
my
that.
theory,
I just mad she wasn't in it more, but she was on vacation, so it's fine.
Yeah, I think his mom is the real villain.
She's gonna be a big
or being coerced by him in a way. Like they alluded to that in the pilot, so that's what makes me think we're gonna get a little twist. And actually, she was lying to Caleb. She was lying to baby Caleb. Like she's actually doing something. I think that might be where they're going. Or something completely different.
You don't get that actress for one episode to
no. She's
like
definitely coming back. We know that, but like, in what way?
Well,
but
the next episode is I think the Tilly episode, based on the description.
Yeah, so I think there's something happening with his mom, but yeah, you don't mention to a sociopath, hey, where's my cadet's mom? Because then he's going to go looking for the mom, because now he has something that he could twist Nala Ake with again.
Also, you could also take that and stretch it even further and say, you know, she just found out some pretty catastrophic shit in the previous episode. She could easily feel tremendous amount of guilt for having the death of a student and all of that. I think it wouldn't be unusual for a person who, you know, came off as kind of relaxed prior to this episode, for her to, in the same way as Caleb does, pull it back a little bit and keep it closer to the chest, and saying things like, you don't confess all to a fucking sociopath. Are you stupid? That seems to me like the kind of statement a person would say if they're like kind of don't have enough eyeballs in their head to keep all of the balls in view, so she knows that everybody's okay. I think she's winding back a little bit as a means of self-preservation, but also as a means of heightened awareness, because she knows it's coming, whatever it is. And that's the key. She has no idea what it is. So yeah, she it could be read as though she acted strangely this episode because it's strange times for her right now. She's got
It could be, yeah. Like it, I think Holly Hunter's a skilled enough actress to know that like this is kind of the turning point for the season where shit kind of got real for the cadets. Like she was able to keep them safe in the pilot episode, and then they lost one. It might not be her cadet, but she probably feels responsible for them because they were on that mission together. So Bobby being shot was probably a big deal for her. So, and I think she probably knows that like now she has to stop playing like fun, quirky art teacher and get a little more aggressive because these kids are now kind of the realization of what it's like to be in Starfleet at this point. Hit it, Krista.
She also has a big bad she's hiding involving her son. So they did
there's too much. They mentioned it too much for that not to be a bigger thing later.
Yeah. They've got Caleb, they've got Tayana or whatever her name is, Tamira.
Tayana Miss Lonnie.
Yeah, they've got all of that. And
Tarima. Tarima. Oh, I thought you were talking about the actress who plays Caleb's mom. Sorry.
Tarima. So we've gotten and even Darum had this kind of, his big bad was he wanted to be at Starfleet. He didn't want to marry this early. He wanted to keep the original plan. So I'm thinking, she's hiding something. That thing with the kid, with her own kid, that's going to be a big shit stain. And it's going to be something.
What if it's Nis Baraka? What if her kid is Nis Baraka?
No, it's going to be something where it was preventable and she chose not to. And she has garnered so much. She has been so maternal and sort of nurturing with these students that finding out that the real specifics about her own son's death, that's going to be like betrayal. That'll be viewed as betrayal. And so it'll be, but it's going to be a big one.
I think that's the big gift that Nusbraka is saying. It's coming with a big red bow. He's going to expose that secret to her students to then fuck with her foundation, fuck with her cadets. I'm also thinking there's probably going to be a moment with Caleb's mother and Nala Ake where his actual mom is going to choose to sacrifice him for whatever she's fucking doing, and Nala will not. It will be like sort of her redemption, like her adoptive son. She will not give up on the way that she had to, or she felt she had to, with her actual son 100 years ago, or when her 120 years ago with the burn.
We were so good with that.
Thank you so much. Trevor.
What?
Can you land the ship, please?
I guess. There were 2 problematic gay alerts, which, given the visual content of this episode, I'm disappointed in all of you. There was 1 bad Holly Hunter impression. There were 3 problematic
gay alert.
I'd still lick his nipples, but
Problematic gay alert.
And sniff his pits.
Problematic gay alert.
Probably ride him right there too.
Problematic gay alert.
There were 6 problematic gay alerts.
He's 17.
There was no, Darum is.
Caleb is 21.
Caleb is
21.
Um,
Girl, if you think I'm going live without knowing these numbers, you have lost your damn mind.
Back to me. Close up. There were 6 problematic gay alerts. There was 1 Holly Hunter impression. Thank you, Stanley. I gave 5 million bonus points to Shaka Khan for making "Put the fire inside of you" her warp catchphrase. I gave 200 bonus points to the Oberth class for becoming the love den for the Culber Stemitzes. I gave 5,000 bonus points to Krista for making them bounce. I gave an additional 5 bonus points to Krista for clocking 32nd century FaceTime. I gave 500 bonus points to Brian Dewert in the comments for clocking the need to update 32nd century FaceTime. I gave 250 bonus points to Matt for having a genuine question. 10,000 bonus points to Joanne for saying, fuck it, the dresses were cute. 350,000 bonus points to Will for not being dusty, unlike Durham's moon. 10 treats to Walter for just being fucking cute. 1,000 bonus points to Sohail for asking all the important questions. 200 bonus points to Melinda for always playing it safe. And last but not least, 69 million bonus points to Caleb's pecs because I'm fucking in charge of this bit. That's it. That's all I got.
And that's right. And YouTube rejected your comment. This usually means they think it's spam. I am the host of this podcast.
They rejected mine too. I made a problematic gay alert comment and it rejected me. So
earlier I said something about when Will was talking about what Kirk was up to at the academy. I was like, girl, he was playing chess, and it rejected that.
Well, mine was rejected because you all were saying a scene was cut. And I said, you know what probably wasn't cut? Caleb. Anyway,
well, that's
close the show.
Oh my God.
Can we give a post-mortem problematic gay alert? You know what else
I
blew
want
up
to
and
thank
shoved the head
everybody
down?
for joining the Salon.
There was
this
one
evening,
explosive
and I
saucer
appreciate
separation.
You all joining us in the chat. It's been a lovely time talking about Star Trek, Starfleet Academy, Season 1, Episode 7, Cosine. And we will be back next Thursday at the same time, at the same channel. We are at Salon Trek or at the Salon Trek on Instagram, at Salon Trek everywhere else. Thank you all so much for joining our nonsense. Live long and prosper. Or don't. Make your own destiny.
All hands abandon ship. Proceed to the nearest evacuation zone